All right, so are you ready to dive into the world of pet insurance in New Zealand?
Always ready to talk about protecting our furry friends.
Specifically today, we're looking at a company called Pet-n-Sur.
Yeah, it seems like you've been browsing their website, maybe thinking about getting a quote.
That's right. I've
And,
been trying to figure out, are they the real deal? What makes them stand out from all the other pet insurance options out there?
well, that's what we're here to uncover, right? Is Pet-n-Sur just another insurance company, or are they truly all about pets like they claim to be?
Exactly, because anyone can say they're the best.
Absolutely. We need to look beyond the marketing and see what they actually offer.
Okay, so let's start with their claim that they're all about pets. They really emphasize that on their website.
Yeah, that's a common tactic for companies trying to carve out a niche. But the real question is, does this specialization actually benefit the pet owner?
Yeah, is it just marketing fluff, or are they truly dedicated to providing the best possible care for pets?
That's what we need to figure out.
I did notice they boast some pretty impressive numbers on their site.
Yeah, like what stood out to you?
Well, they say they've been around for 19 years. They've paid out $59 million in pet medical bills.
Wow, that's a significant amount.
And get this, a 99.3% claim payment rate within 14 days.
14 days. That's pretty impressive if it's true.
Right. I mean, that could be a huge relief when you're facing a big vet bill.
Absolutely. But remember, those are just their claims. We need to compare those stats to their competitors. Are those numbers truly exceptional or just industry standard?
That's a good point.
Yeah,
I guess I got a little bit swept up in the.
marketing hype.
Yeah, ha ha ha. But I also noticed they offer coverage for a surprisingly wide range of animals.
Yeah, like what?
Not just the usual suspects, cats and dogs,
Right.
but also rabbits and horses.
Horses. That's interesting. I haven't seen many pet insurance companies that cover horses.
Yeah, that definitely caught my eye. I mean, horses can rack up some serious vet bills.
Right, and it suggests they might have a broader expertise in animal health.
Yeah, maybe they have a team of vets who specialize in different species.
It's worth looking into.
And speaking of options, they seem to have pretty flexible plans, too.
Oh, yeah, in what way?
Well, they offer everything from basic dental cover to comprehensive options that include, routine care, surgeries, specialist treatments.
So they're trying to cater to a variety of needs and budgets.
Yeah, and they highlight that you can tailor the plans to your specific lifestyle.
Flexibility is definitely a plus when it comes to pet insurance because every pet and every owner is different.
Right, you're not just a number to them, apparently.
Hopefully not.
And they really emphasize affordability.
Like what kind of prices are we talking?
Well, they advertise starting prices as low as $22 a month for dogs and $14 a month for cats.
Starting prices. Those are always eye-catching. But we need to see how those prices scale up as the pet gets older, or if they have pre-existing conditions.
Yeah, that's true. The fine print is always important, but it's still good to see they're at least trying to make pet insurance accessible.
Definitely affordability is a major concern for many pet owners.
Okay, so we've talked about their claims, their coverage, their prices, but what about the actual experiences of their customers?
Yeah, the proof is in the pudding, right?
Right, so they have a section on their website with customer testimonials.
Testimonials can be a powerful tool, but they can also be carefully curated.
Yeah, of course, but it's still interesting to see what people are saying.
Absolutely. Let's hear some of those stories.
Okay, so we have Robin, whose dog Harley has epilepsy and requires frequent vet visits.
Oh, that must be tough.
Robin says Pet-n-Sur gives her peace of mind knowing they can afford Harley's care.
Peace of mind, that's a common theme with pet insurance.
Yeah, knowing you're not going to be hit with a massive vet bill when something unexpected happened.
But does Pet-n-Sur actually deliver on that promise? Or are there hidden limitations or exclusions in their policies? We need to find that out.
Definitely. And then we have Carrie, whose dog Bailey needed expensive treatment right before Christmas.
Oh no, poor Bailey.
Yeah, it sounds like it was a stressful situation, but Carrie praised Pet-n-Sur for helping them give Bailey the care he needed without, breaking the bank, especially during the holidays.
That's heartwarming to hear. But again, we need to look beyond the anecdote and see if Pet-n-Sur consistently provides that level of financial support.
Right, because one positive story doesn't necessarily mean they're perfect.
Exactly. We need a bigger picture.
And finally, we have Lucy, who was really impressed with how quickly and smoothly Pet-n-Sur reimbursed her for her dog Mocha's skin irritation treatment.
Oh, so it sounds like their claims process was efficient.
Yeah, she praised their speed and efficiency, which is definitely reassuring.
But what does efficient actually mean in this context? Like, what's the average turnaround time for claims? Are there any complaints buried somewhere about their claims process?
Good point. We need to do some more digging.
All right, detective work time.
So we're seeing some recurring themes here. The promise of peace of mind, financial support, and efficient claims processing.
Yes, but remember, those are just marketing claims. Our job is to go beyond the surface and see if those claims hold up under scrutiny.
Okay, so let's put on our skeptical hats and see what we can find.
I'm ready.
And speaking of things that seem too good to be true,
Oh, what caught your eye?
I saw this offer on their website, up to $2,000 free insurance.
Free insurance. There's always a catch, right?
Right, so let's dive into the details of that offer and see what the fine print says.
Let's do it. We need to find out if it's truly a risk-free way to try out Pet-n-Sur, or if there are some hidden gotchas.
Exactly, because nothing in life is truly free.
Especially insurance.
Okay, so this free insurance offer,
Yeah.
it's for pets aged 6 weeks to 6 years.
Yeah.
And it provides up to $2,000 in coverage.
Yeah, that seems to be their target market for this. Offer younger, healthier animals.
Makes sense, right? I mean, younger pets are less likely to have, pre-existing conditions.
Exactly. They're a lower risk for the insurance company.
So it's like a trial period
Can-
where they're betting that these younger pets won't rack up huge vet bills.
Right.
But then what happens after that free coverage period ends?
That's the key question, right?
Yeah. Do you automatically get rolled into a paid plan?
Well, they say it's no obligation, but
Right.
we need to check those terms and conditions.
Yeah.
See what happens when that free coverage expires.
Yeah, is it automatic? Or do you have to opt in?
Exactly. And
Yeah.
if you do have to opt in, how does the pricing compare to their standard plans?
Good point. And what about that $2,000 coverage limit?
Yeah.
Is that really enough to cover, if something major happens?
That's a good question. $2,000 might seem like a decent chunk of change,
Right.
but it could easily disappear if your pet needs surgery
Yeah.
or some kind of long-term treatment.
So, what if your pet eats something it shouldn't have
Yeah.
and needs emergency surgery?
Exactly. Or develops a chronic condition
Yeah.
that requires ongoing medication.
Okay, so we really need to understand what's actually covered under this free offer.
Absolutely. And what the reimbursement rates are.
And are there any exclusions or limitations?
Lots of questions to ask.
Yeah, it feels like this free offer might be a little more complicated than it seems at first glance.
Yeah, I think we're starting to see through the marketing a bit.
So are there any red flags we should be watching out for?
Well, one thing that concerns me is the duration of the free coverage. 6 weeks to 6 years. That's a pretty big range.
Yeah.
A 6-year-old pet is much more likely to have health problems than a tiny little puppy.
Right. So while that free offer might sound great,
Yeah.
you need to think about the long term.
Exactly what happens when your pet ages out of that free coverage.
Right. Will you be able to afford their regular plans?
And will those plans still meet your needs?
So it's like they're offering you this tempting carrot,
Right.
but what happens when that carrot's gone?
You're left with the real cost of pet insurance.
Okay, so even though this free insurance might seem attractive,
It can be tempting.
you really need to read that fine print.
Absolutely.
Understand the limitations.
Make sure you're not signing up for something you can't afford down the line.
Right, so don't just jump in blindly.
Think long term.
Okay, so we've kind of dissected this free insurance offer,
We sure have.
looked at the potential benefits, the limitations, the things to watch out for.
Definitely a lot to consider.
So what's the next step for our listener who's, thinking about Pet-n-Sur?
Well, I think it's time to move past the marketing and look at the details of their policies.
Yeah, what kind of coverage do they actually offer?
Exactly. Let's break down those different plans, see what's included, what's excluded.
And how their pricing compares to other companies?
Right, because there are lots of pet insurance options out there.
Okay, so let's get into the nitty-gritty of those policy details
Let's do it.
and see if Pet-n-Sur really lives up to its claims.
Sounds good to me.
Okay, so we've talked about their marketing and, that tempting free offer.
Right.
But now let's get into the real nitty-gritty, their actual pet insurance plans.
Yeah, the meat and potatoes,
Yeah.
the actual coverage you get.
Exactly. So what types of plans do they offer?
Well, it looks like they have kind of a tiered system,
Okay.
which is pretty common for pet insurance.
Hmm.
They've got a range from accident-only coverage
Okay.
up to a more comprehensive plan.
All right. So accident only versus comprehensive.
Yeah.
What does that actually mean in terms of what's covered?
Okay, so accident-only, pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
It covers unexpected injuries, like broken bones, lacerations, that kind of thing.
Okay.
If your pet eats something they shouldn't,
Right. Right.
those sorts of things.
So if they swallow a sock?
Exactly. Those unexpected accidents.
Got it.
Those plans are usually more affordable.
Okay.
But the thing is, they don't cover illnesses.
Right, because those unexpected illnesses can get really expensive.
Oh, absolutely.
But what about those comprehensive plans?
Yeah, so comprehensive plans,
What do they typically include?
they cover a much wider range of issues. So it'll be illnesses, accidents,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes even hereditary conditions.
Well.
Yeah, so it might also cover things like diagnostic tests,
Okay.
surgeries, hospitalization medications.
So it sounds like those comprehensive plans are going to be pricier.
Yeah, you'll definitely pay a higher premium for that broader coverage.
Makes sense.
But it really depends on your individual needs.
Right.
If you have a breed that's prone to certain health issues,
Yeah.
or if you just want that extra peace of mind knowing you're covered for more things,
Mm-hmm.
then a comprehensive plan could be worth that extra cost.
That makes sense. And I'm also wondering, what they don't cover.
The exclusions, the fine print.
Yeah, exactly. What are some of those common exclusions that we should be aware of?
Okay, so with pet insurance, some of the things you might see excluded are pre-existing conditions,
Okay.
routine dental care,
Right.
or elective procedures like spaying or neutering.
So even if you have that comprehensive plan,
Mm-hmm.
there might be some things that you still got to pay for yourself.
Exactly. No insurance covers absolutely everything.
Right.
That's why it's so important to really read through those policy documents,
Yeah.
understand what's covered, what's not,
Mm-hmm.
and make sure it aligns with your needs and your budget.
Okay, so we've talked about the plan types, the exclusions. Now, what about the actual cost?
Yeah, the bottom line.
I know they advertise those starting prices as low as $14 a month.
Right.
But how does that price change based on things like, the breed, the age, the pet's location?
Yeah, that's where it gets a little more complex.
All right.
Pet insurance premiums, they're calculated based on all sorts of factors.
Like what?
Species, breed, age, location,
Mm-hmm.
and, of course, the level of coverage you choose.
So a purebred dog with a history of health issues.
Yeah.
That's going to be more expensive to insure than like a healthy mixed breed.
Most likely, yes. Insurance companies use all this data to assess risk.
Right.
And some breeds are statistically more likely to have certain conditions.
That makes sense. And I'm guessing older pets are more expensive to insure too.
Yeah, generally as pets get older, they're more likely to develop health problems. So the risk goes up for the insurance company.
So the premiums go up.
Exactly.
So basically, to know exactly how much a Pet-n-Sur plan will cost,
Yeah,
you got to get a personalized quote.
you really do. It's the only way to know for sure.
But is there any way to know how their prices compare to other companies?
That's a great question. And it's always a good idea to shop around.
Okay.
Get quotes from multiple providers.
Right.
Don't just focus on the price, though.
Okay.
Look at what's covered, what's not.
Right.
The claims process the company's reputation.
Mm-hmm.
It's about finding the best value, not just the cheapest option.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground today.
We have.
We've looked at their marketing, that free insurance offer, and really dug into the details of their plans and pricing.
We've really broken it down.
So what are your final thoughts on Pet-n-Sur?
Well, overall, I'd say they seem like a decent option for pet insurance in New Zealand.
Okay.
They've got a range of plans. They seem to be pretty flexible. And their claims process seems efficient, at least based on what we've seen.
But it's still important to do your homework right.
Oh, absolutely.
Compare quotes, read the fine print.
Always read the fine print.
Make sure you're making the best decision for you and your pet.
Exactly. Pet insurance can be a real lifesaver,
Yeah,
both for your furry friend and for your wallet.
right. It's about having that peace of mind.
Exactly. Knowing you're prepared for whatever comes your way.
Well, that brings us to the end of our deep dive into Pet-n-Sur.
It's been a journey.
We hope this has helped give you a clearer picture of what they offer.
And what to look for when you're choosing pet insurance.
Exactly. Remember, your pet's health and well-being are priceless.
Absolutely.
But that doesn't mean you can't be smart about protecting them.
And protecting your finances.
That's all for today's deep dive.
Thanks for joining us.
Until next time, keep those tails wagging and those purrs rumbling.